Hello, sound check, please. Can you check the transmitter? Okay, thank you.
We are ready, Master.
Good morning, everyone. I need a microphone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our chant class. It's Saturday morning here in the U.S. It's going to be a busy day today because in the afternoon at DTT we'll be having our first deceased precepts transmission. And this is our first experiment, and so far has been going well. We didn't think much. We didn't know what to expect, but actually the response has been very encouraging. So we plan to, at this rate, probably do it like Master YongHua's tradition, twice. Every 2 years we'll be holding this deceased precepts transmission. It will be today, the primary location will be at DTT. Master Z will be the master of ceremony, will be in charge of it. And Master and XL will be the, how shall we call it? The enforcer. When we have these deceased beings, and we invite them here to the temples and our various branches, is bound to have some troublemakers showing up. And therefore, unfortunately, they'll have to put in their places. And this is why it's a rather delicate Dharma that you have all the monks and nuns or the temples should be careful not to involve in this because it has some consequences. So instructions, Master Z should, the person in charge should make it clear that they should obey, follow the rules. If not, they will be severely admonished and even punished. All right? And XL in particular will be the newest member of the Thor Corps. The Thor Corps are our enforcers, if you will. They are sort of our henchmen, for lack of a better word. Okay, meaning that they, if need be, they will be will be sent to put out fires and restore order. Okay, And today in particular, because it's our first time, will be harsher than usual. All troublemakers will be dealt with severely. Okay, we don't tolerate it. Not today. Right? During this, and after the ceremony is over, they'll be gone. Okay, they're not allowed to stick around. This is a place of cultivation. They only come here. All these beings are invited here to participate in the refuge ceremony and precept transmission. After that, they should go back to where they are. We really are not equipped to accommodate them. We're not a hotel or Airbnb for that matter. So they should be gone, okay? And the troublemakers will be dealt with severely, and Master XL, you should pay attention to that. I taught you how to do it already, rather harshly, severely. In particular, pay attention to children, okay? If children, if they have certain, they're under stress, their behavior reveal that they're under stress, you need, first of all, protect them. Well, I haven't taught you how to protect them. Okay. Okay, remind me how to do that, okay? Okay. Any questions about that? It's a big deal for us. We want to make sure that it's beneficial for all of you, including the deceased, and then everything will be in order. All right? Any questions? No questions? Okay. Then I forgot what I wanted to talk about today. Okay. Yes, Way Mountain. Oh, yeah. The branches that tune in. Yes, go ahead, Way Mountain.
Hello, Master. I have a question about the disease precept.
Yes.
I requested for one the plugs, and then what I'm asking is he actually killed himself. So by taking the disease precept, can he saved? Because I heard that if you suicide yourself, that will be fall into the hell.
Those who kill themselves, yeah, usually they get in big trouble. Okay, they usually fall and sink deep. Yes, because of their state of mind, and then typically most monks and nuns are unable to help with their ceremonies with such severe cases. So yes, they tend to fall big time. Okay? Can we save them? No, we can't save them. We can give some food. Okay? But we can't save them. Okay? It's not our business to save them. However, you are. I speak about it more in the future, maybe tomorrow or something, after everything goes well. If things don't go well, I won't talk about it ever again. Okay? There's no point advertising our weaknesses and our failures. All right. Hopefully we won't fail. Okay. XL is all up to you now. XZ is all up to you. If you succeed, then you make a name for yourself. But if we allow these beings and these beings who fell to take refuge, hopefully they have more blessings. They get more protection in a way, And because now they have a label. They say, this is disciple of Mahayana, okay, I'm of a Mahayana monk, and therefore they receive probably more preferential treatment. But this Dharma is not designed to help them attain freedom or get out of the trouble. But eventually, it would help a lot more than otherwise. Okay? That's a lot more helpful than you realize, in other words. Did I answer your question?
Yes, Master. Thank you.
Okay.
Master.
Any other questions? For remote locations, XL is not there, but we shouldn't worry too much because primarily most of them will be at DTT. Most of the in-being, the deceased beings will be at DTT. So XL hang around in the Buddha hall, okay, and make sure that things are okay, okay. And as far as remote branches, I understand some of you are planned to attend here, Go Force, at WMT in Korea and so forth. Good luck to all of you. Hope nothing bad happens to you. Again, these beings, these troublemakers, when they come, they tend to cause trouble, but I feel that we can handle them. I feel that it's a good drill for our people. So remotely, for those people, like WMT, you should have people there. The people like XT, XS should be there in the Buddha hall, okay, to help out. Again, following instructions. They're also part of the Thor Corps and down south. So please help out. Go to the Buddha hall and Go Force here. Who do you have for enforcers? I want someone with a bad temper, not just nice people like XW. Okay, you should show your temper and not treat them too nicely if they misbehave. But since we have no choice, XW will be the enforcer here. Okay, as far as remotely. JMT in Korea, JMT will be the enforcer, and he's responsible for both JMT and JC. Hopefully there should be no problems at all. Okay, I will send in particular more short-tempered Dharma protectors to Korea because I don't want to hear any problems there. Okay. They better behave. All right. Any other questions? The reason sometimes things happen is for training purposes, experiment and training purposes. Unless you as Sanghas look at, go through these experiences, you will not know how to handle this situation. This is actually a minor thing. It's nothing at all. Okay, so nothing to worry about. Okay, yeah. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Also, this is my last chant class here at Go Force in the U.S. This weekend, like tomorrow night, I'll be flying to Korea for a month or so to do some work over there, to take care of our Korean disciples and followers. So I'll be back after a month, and I will come back here in about end of April. Okay, but we'll be in touch. We have plenty of good help here, everywhere, in all our branches. Continue to practice and work hard. It's about your life. It's about your well-being. You have to do something to take care of it. Please don't ignore this daily practice. Meditate every day, and preferably 1 hour or so to take care of yourself physically and mentally. People, this is what we're here for. We're here to train you to take better care of yourselves, okay? Of your body and of your mind, and eventually of your emotions. Okay? All right. Since I don't remember what I wanted to say, so we go into the Song of Enlightenment. This work here from Great Master YongHua, supposedly the 7th patriarch of the Chinese Mahayana that we inherited, was brought here to the U.S. by Great Master YongHua, and he was a 7th crown Bodhisattva. From what I've seen, the content of Song of Enlightenment, his work here, as well as all the information. So he, at the 7th ground Bodhisattva, it's a significant level of attainment. If you practice Chan, you get the 7th ground, it would be considered a very, very significant accomplishment. Okay, so he, after he reached, he became enlightened, he documented the state of enlightenment to encourage us, to teach us, to reveal to us how wonderful this thing here is. It could be for you, okay? And and the message is that it's a big achievement, and you too are able to do that. Oh, I remember the message now. Okay, and so the paraphrasing him, he's saying that you should be aware of this attainment that you can have in this lifetime or future lifetimes. And the mindset is that for those of you who are new to us, new to Chan meditation, and are very busy with your lives, and really don't know a whole lot about spiritual pursuits, it's about mindset, having the proper frame of mind that your parents, that your teachers did not give you, did not teach you. Okay, what is this proper frame of mind from the enlightened beings, the enlightened teachers who try to convey to us? Let me paraphrase it for you, okay, in American terms. The Chinese and Asians have much more elegant and poetic way of expressing things. Like instead of describing my state of enlightenment, he says Song of Enlightenment, which says that it contains praises of this enlightenment thing, that your praises of your enlightened nature. Okay? You can be enlightened. You have this enlightened nature in all of you, and you just have to find a way to mind it, to take it out. And just like mining gold nowadays. Okay? And so what is the message from these enlightened teachers? Okay, let me put it very simple phrase for you. Think bigger. What happened is that your teachers, your parents, your elders, their visions are not big enough, not far enough, because of their limited wisdom. That's why they are not challenging you enough. Okay? I'm challenging you to think bigger. All of you. You can learn to think bigger and bigger and bigger. Do not limit yourself. Okay? And we're talking about incrementally. If I tell you to think big, it's too vague for you. All I'm asking you is whatever you think of, your aspirations are right now, how about thinking bigger? Increase by 25%. Okay? And once you are able to see the boundaries of the next range there, 25%, increase it by another 25%. And so on. Okay? And on and on and on. How about that? Okay? That's very American. It's specific. You need to expand your mind. Don't settle for so little. Don't be content with so little. Okay? You are this way because your teachers, your parents, your idols, your role models think too small. And this is what you can do for yourself and for them. Think bigger and bigger and bigger. And again, you need to see that you're able, bigger is that something that's hard for you to reach. It's called bigger. You hear me, Nacho? Bigger. It's hard for you right now. And as you challenge yourself, acquire skills and strength and wisdom to get there, and then you get closer, you see, wow, it's feasible now. I don't think it's that big anymore. Okay? It's so feasible for me now. Now, think even bigger. And bigger. I want you to be real. It's not like aspirational. It's not like a false thought where I say, I'm a big thinker. No, it has to be something concrete. Bigger is something more challenging for you. Okay? More difficult for you. Very difficult for you. When you don't find it difficult anymore, that's when you want to move your target again. Okay? That's my last gift to you. If I should crash, my plane should crash in the ocean, think of me as a bigger thinker. Not a thinker, okay, but a bigger and bigger thinker. And then give me some disease precepts. Okay, going back to yes question, one. And that's what you can do for your children, for the babies right there. I hope you grow up to think bigger. Okay? Deal? Okay? Yes.
Master, how do we make sure we stay humble, and how do we know if we're not being humble?
Naturally, our ego grows as we improve. It's a natural thing. When we think bigger, and of course, with that, our ego grows bigger as well. Because we say, I'm not going to be as easily content or satisfied as before. The ego grows as well. So it's a really good question. Okay, in order to keep your ego in check, it should be a goal, and don't worry. Okay, and meaning that should be aware that naturally our ego grows. The more successful you become, your ego will grow. Okay, it will naturally grow, and therefore you need to keep it in check. You will get to the point where one day you become enlightened. Then your ego is gone. Now, at that point in time, it's much easier for you to rein it in. But until then, it's going to happen. Okay, just remind yourself that put yourself in the proper frame of mind. Why are we doing this? If you're doing this for yourself only, then your mind is so small. You're such a small thinker. Okay? Therefore, your ego is pretty small itself. It's a tiny, tiny, puny ego. But if you're doing this in order to what? Help more people, okay? And that's one way for you to also check about bigger, thinking bigger, planning, have bigger plans, is that what I do, is it going to benefit more people? 25% more? Okay? And 25% more? Remember? You say, I want to help 25% more. What I had in mind before, I want to do 25% more. Okay? And you find a way, because you're all smart. If you practice, you follow this spiritual path, your mind will develop. Okay? And you'll be able to get closer, to see clearer on how to get there. Okay? In whatever you do, in life, in your personal life, in your spiritual life, in your professional life, you'll be able to do that. Only people fail to do that only because they limit themselves. This is all I want, this is all I can do. They don't realize that their potential is limitless. So that's why I encourage you to think bigger. And very concrete term, it's not just false thinking. Okay, we are here in the United States. It's very, very measurable. Okay, everything is measurable. So you think bigger in terms of, you set your goals to say help 25% more people, 25% more impact. Okay, maybe it's not people, but maybe like you want to sponsor the arts. Okay, sponsor libraries and so forth. So you do 25% more, okay? And your mind will naturally come up with a way to do that, okay? When you meditate, when you set your mind, by the way, when you set your mind to do something challenging and you meditate, one day, okay, that thought, the idea will come to you. And you say, that's all I have to do. And then you put it into action. As you do it, then you realize, it won't be long before you realize, wow, it's so attainable. It's not a big deal. It's not that challenging for me anymore. Okay? That's when, again, you think bigger. I want to increase it by 25%. Something, if you are more ambitious, okay, do 35%, do 50%. Okay? And that's what you do. Okay? This is what thinking bigger means. In concrete terms, okay, and you see how attainable it is if you set your mind to it. The only problem with ordinary people is that they're not taught how to challenge themselves, and they're taught only in terms of static goals. Okay? And also, finally, the drawback of the ordinary people thinking is that they only are there to benefit themselves. That's very small. If you set your goals to benefit others, your heart opens up. You like yourself more. People like you more for it. Okay? As you get more involved, you see, you interact with others, okay? It really enriches your life and your mind. Okay, I was very narrow-minded, okay? I just wanted to cultivate, only wanted to meditate. When my Chinese teacher taught me, he said, ordered me, he says, you should teach. That's how he teaches me. You should teach, and I have to figure it out what to do. Okay, and I'm so grateful because it took me 2 weeks to finally agree with that. First 2 weeks, I said, no, what should I teach these people? They did nothing for me. They're not there when I suffered, when I struggle, and I in dire straits. Who was there to help me? No one. So why should I teach them? That's my first reaction. Okay, and then finally, after 2 weeks, I figured that he has tremendous wisdom. I should listen to him, and people wisdom do things to benefit others, not to benefit themselves. So I should trust this man. So after 2 weeks, okay, I started teaching. And I'm so glad I did that, because this learning process here is tremendously rewarding. And that's what I'm doing too. I'm expanding my horizon. I'm thinking bigger. I want 25% more. Okay? And actually, I'm more humble than you. I only want 15%. I'm too old. You're young. You're different. Okay? I only want to increase by 15%. That make me happy. Okay. So again, when you do that, the ego becomes bigger. And here's the few things you can do for yourself. Okay. You learn to listen to people around you. I am very lucky. I have a lot of very competent people. For the last 20 years, we built up this community of people who are very, very competent, who believe in the same ideals, in that helping others, okay? And I listen to them. You have to trust your girlfriend. You have to trust people. You have to, if you spend enough time with them and go through a lot of, endure a lot of difficulties and challenges with them, that's when the trust builds up, becomes stronger. You have to trust someone in life. And their opinions matter. Your opinions matter. When I come to you or talk to you, whatever you say actually gives me so much feedback. I adjust my approach. I adjust my thinking. I adjust my goals as well. Okay? For example, I had a very, very simple mind. I said, in order to teach like my master said, I would teach Chan and then Pure Land. That's it. That's good enough. Okay, I would do it better than his students. Okay, to express my gratitude to him and for his many sacrifices he made his entire life to help us here, our generation, my generation, and the future generations. So I'm going to do that, and I wanted to make sure that more people can understand his teachings, because I found that my generation, we don't understand his teaching enough. I said, that's enough for me, okay? And as my students began to improve and surpass his students, I said, wow, his teachings is no longer good enough for my students. So I had to change my style of teaching, okay? And now, before it was more like one way, where I told them what to do. Now it's more like 50-50. I tell them what to do because there's a lot more that they need to learn. But the 50%, the other 50% part is that they're giving you feedback about me. The other day, for example, someone's driving me, and then this Korean girl is driving me, and we tried to park the car as we got back, and so we pulled up and we backed up into the driveway, okay, and the Koreans, this girl in particular, is only good at backing up. Not good at sticking in. The Koreans, when they drive in the public places, parking places, they back into the parking spots. They don't stick the heads in like we do. In America, we stick our heads in, okay, because it's the fastest. Because if you don't, you pull up and you back into it, it takes time and people get out, you obstructing people and so forth. So in America, we're very fast. We get into a parking spot, we pull up, right? And we get out. In Korea, they're different. These people, they want a parking spot here, okay? They pull up and then they back into it. It's much slower. It's a very slow pace of life compared to us. So, and so she backed into it, and that's what she does typically. But that day, a few days ago, I was the one who driving and backing it up, okay? And I was backing into that. Okay, this is late at night, so it's dark, so I couldn't see the pavements. Our driveway is very, very small. Right there, you walk out there, you see it's about fits the size of a Corolla. Okay, something like that. I was backing into it, and I was about to climb on the curb. And you know what this Korean girl said? Stop! You run on top of the curb. You know what she sounded like? Me. I was paranoid. So that's what I mean by listening. You have to be humble, you know. The 50% I'm sharing with them, I'm teaching them, training them the way they're supposed to be trained, okay, to replace me. But the other 50% is that I'm learning about, they're giving feedback how ridiculous I sound sometimes, you know, how paranoid you are sometimes, okay? And that's part of being humble. It's a natural thing. You learn to trust people around you. You build up that relationship, okay? That we go through a lot of trials and errors. We make mistakes, we all do. And that's why we can learn to be more humble by admitting it, okay? See, I'm a Chan teacher, so usually when I teach people, I'm very curt, I'm very harsh. Stop! Okay? And I check that, by the way, every now and then. It's for people, so I would sneak up on them. You know, I see the girl walking out, I would hide behind the wall. When she gets close, I jump up. And she'd go like this every single time. And so what I do in teaching Chan, you know, the Chan style is that sometimes you have to strike it when it's still hot. The steel when it's still hot. Bang! Okay? To shape it properly. Okay? That's what you do. And so that's a style. But sometimes when I also teach, for example, Pure Land or lay people, I forget that I should not be that harsh to some because it's brutal. They complain. They say, "Oh, that's brutal." Okay, and so it's hit and miss for me. Yeah, sometimes I do it right with some of the peoples. 50% of the time I screw up, and that's you give me feedback. So that's why over the years, the last 20 years, I learned to be more and more humble. I try my best. I know I make mistakes. Okay, we all do. That's life. Okay, we continue to learn. So the mindset is that we know we make mistakes. Okay, it's not about not making mistakes. What is life about? Life is about do not be afraid to make mistakes. Okay, what differentiates you from others is that how quickly can you recognize your mistakes? Number one. Number two, how quickly you can recover from it. We all screw up. That's life. It's natural. Okay? That's how we learn. I don't know about you, but I learn a lot more from my mistakes than from my successes. I have so few successes, not much to talk about. Okay, but the mistakes and the errors, the big goofs ups are just so many, and you have to learn to recover a lot quicker and quicker and quicker. Why? Because you have obligation. You want to do more, 25% more, okay, and more and more. You don't have time to cry over spilled milk, okay. And so, if you have the proper mindset, then I find that the one very important aspect of being humble is listening to others when they criticize you. Okay? And I deserved it. That Korean girl there who mimicked me, she sounded so ridiculous, exactly like me. Okay, and that's oh wow, I could be so crude sometimes, even to women. Okay, so you should listen, and you should we should recognize that don't cover up. We make mistakes, we admit it. Okay, yeah, because that's the last thing. Your ego grows bigger because it finds a way to conceal its mistakes. Hide it, okay? That's how it feels safe, and that's how it grows bigger. But when you don't allow it to happen, you talk about your mistakes and your failures, then when you brag, like we have a tendency to do, no one takes you seriously. Okay, that seriously. Anyone else has any suggestions about how to become more humble and stay humble? It's a mindset. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir. 2.
Master, how do you balance between thinking big, doing big, and putting too much pressure on yourself?
I'm sorry, thinking and placing too much pressure on yourself?
Like, you're saying that, you got to think big, you got to, think big and, do big things, right? And
bigger, not
bigger,
big.
Bigger things.
Yes.
And
there's a slight difference. The ordinary people only are taught to think big. I'm challenging you to think bigger. Okay?
Bigger means bigger than big.
Yes, meaning challenge yourself even more.
Right, always.
Okay?
Yeah, and so between that and putting too much pressure on yourself, saying, I'm not doing enough. This is not big enough.
Okay. Well, it's not big enough, then increase it more. What is it too much? Sometimes you find out it's too much. For example, I told you, I teach you 25%. For me, I get older, so I'm settling for 15%. Okay. Besides, I'm retirement age already. All right. So how do you avoid putting too much pressure on yourself? Okay. It's the last thing you should worry about, is putting too much pressure on yourself. If you really believe that the best way for you to be happier in your life is to help more people, okay, then the pressure you put on yourself to help more people is a good thing. If you pressure on yourself only to benefit yourself, I want to be richer, I want to be the richest man in the world, and then I go and fire everyone that I don't like. Okay, if you do that, okay, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Look at how sad he looks nowadays. You notice that? Yeah. Elon, have you looked at him recently, his latest photos? He's so stressed out. It is so miserable. When my president came into the office, he looked so happy. He looked so good. Hey, I picked a winner. My horse won and so forth. He's so proud, right? He is also the #1 man, richest man in the world. Okay, now look at him. But I'm suffering. My company's not doing well, and I don't know what to do about it. He's whining now. Okay? And so, if you follow that trap, like we are taught to do by our professors, by our parents, okay, then you're bound to put excessive pressure on yourself, and you become miserable, okay, because you're a failure. Okay? However, if your goal is to help others in a bigger way and more of others, okay, and it's a challenging thing for you, it's the excessive pressure on yourself is very healthy for your soul. I would not be afraid to pressure myself to help more. This is when you really rise to the occasion for the right reason. When you are like Elon, you rise to the occasion for the wrong reasons, and you become miserable. Okay? But if your goal is to help more people, and challenge yourself to help more and more, okay, then the excessive pressure is a good thing for you, okay? And in our world, we always advise you to meditate daily. And when you meditate daily, you're faced with excessive pressure right there. You'll be amazed on what meditation can do to help you recover quicker. My recovery tends to be quicker than you because my skills are much bigger than you, much better than you. Therefore, I recover very fast. I make mistakes like crazy, but I recover that fast. Okay? And so that's why you need to challenge yourself. When you challenge yourself, put excessive pressure on yourself, okay, more than you can handle, and then meditate, these wonderful things happens in your psyche, in your spirits, where it's able, your heart can open up and dissolve the pressure naturally. That's how you grow. Your heart grows and your spirits grow. Great question. Thank you for asking. Okay. Our premise here in our world is that we should all meditate every day, okay, for our own good. Lots of questions. DTT.
마스터,
Of course. Hello, Jumi.
마스터, 오늘 오후 3시에 있는 망자 수계 관련해서 세레머니와 법장사 내부에 있는 사진과 동영상 촬영에 관한 질문을 드립니다. 네.
Master, I would like to ask you about today's deceased precept ceremony happening on 3 p.m. About the photo or video taking of the ceremony.
제가 생각하는 기준에서는 세레머니가 진행되는 거는 제가다가 사진이나 동영상을 촬영하면 안 될 것 같다는 그냥 느낌은 가지고 있고요. 제 질문은 네.
So it's just my feeling that in my standard, I think during the ceremony, I don't think lay people should take a photo or videotape it. And my question is?
제 질문은 제가 실은 어제 저희 남편하고 친한 가까운 지인에게 법장사 정면에 있는 그 플라워 오퍼링 사진과 법장사 벽에 그 위패가 가득 붙어 있는데 그것을 동영상으로 촬영해서 보냈어요. 근데 제가 동영상을 촬영했을 때는 프라이버시가 있기 때문에 수혜자라든지 그 베네핏 받는 사람들의 이름을 보이지 않고 그냥 멀리서 그냥 법장사 현재 법당이 이렇게 돼 있다라는 걸로 그냥 참고용으로 보냈는데 제가 혹시 잘못 실수한 게 없는지 질문드립니다.
So yesterday I actually videotaped the Dharma Treasury Temple inside the Buddha Hall for my husband and my acquaintances. And I photographed and videotaped the plaques and the offering photos, but because of the privacy matter, I made sure that the names on the plaque wouldn't be seen on the videos. And I was videotaping from far, and so that they could see how the current Buddha Hall is like. So I want to know if there's any mistakes I made.
It sounds okay to me. Okay. Take as many
괜찮은 것
photos you
같다.
like.
사진 찍고 싶은 만큼 찍어라.
And maybe you capture some images that of these invisible beings like ghosts and spirits and dragons and so forth. Okay, it will be fun. If they allow, they decide to reveal themselves, and would be fun thing to do. Okay, have no worries. You're doing all the right things. Okay, don't look so worried. Okay, did I answer your question?
그냥 마치 그냥 법장사 내부 풍경을 찍었다고 보시면 될 것 같은데 앞으로 주의하겠습니다.
I think I just photographed the interior of the Buddha Hall, so I would watch out for the future reference.
Yeah, it turns out that when you in our environment, sometimes we have these beings join us, and so sometimes our eyes are not able to capture a lot of things, but the cameras are able to capture other things that our naked eyes cannot see. So and they capture like light or shapes and stuff like that. Okay, it happens, and it's a fun thing to have. Okay. All right, YouTube question.
Yes, good morning, Master. This is from the YouTube channel. It's kind of an extended question regarding being a vegetarian and not trying to eat meat. This is from Clifton Spine, and he states, "Hello, Master. I'm hospitalized right now, and they serve meat and fish. I don't want to eat meat, but I do eat fish and eggs, and because I don't eat meat, I always end up throwing away leftovers. In Korea, people don't like vegetarians, so there are no options for a vegetarian meal. Also, I don't have enough money to buy my own food. I don't have enough blessings to cultivate without killing. Also, I can't go outside often by myself. I'm worried that eating fish and throwing away food will cause bad karma and prevent me from cultivating. What should I do? Can you help me?"
Okay, you don't want to eat meat, and you can buy these expensive meat-like but vegetarian food, like impossible stuff, beyond stuff. Beyond Burger and Impossible Burger and whatever, they're very expensive. They're a lot more expensive than meat. And I hear your concern. I hear that you're worried about nutrition, and you want to do the right thing. You don't like to eat meat, that's fine. You want to eat fish and eggs, that's fine. You need the proper amount of nutrition in you. Okay, it's good that you don't eat meat because meat is a good source of protein, but also has a lot of toxins in there as well. So reducing your intake of meat is a good idea. Okay, however, don't go to the extremes. I feel that your life should be balanced. Okay, you're not you have some constraints there, and you need to have the proper nutrition, and that comes first. Okay, and therefore, and especially if you're on a limited budget, you have to be careful. And so. So you is nothing wrong with you not eating meat, or eating a little bit of meat is okay as well, as far as I'm concerned. You need to take care of your body. And the other thing too that you should also consider is that eating what you enjoy, that's important. Okay. Food is a very important part of our lives. For us, for many of us in our world, we choose to be vegetarian out of an ideal that we want to minimize the suffering that we can take part in by eating animals, okay, and so forth. Okay, it's an ideal that we have the luxury of being able to implement in our lives. But it's not always possible. Okay, practically, many vegetables that are grown right now have engineering, so therefore they have a lot of animal cells in there. Okay, in order to increase the yield and to make them more resistant to the insects and predators and so forth. Okay, so it's not a pure world anymore, but there's nothing wrong with sticking to our ideals of, yes, we want to be vegetarian and we want to minimize the harm we can do to others by pursuing their flesh, okay, by eating their flesh. So it's an ideal thing, and also part of it as well is our choice, our choosing to sacrifice flavors. Okay, that would help our spiritual path. That not to indulge too much in flavors. Okay, but however, for you it's different. I feel for ordinary people there should be a balance where I feel that this is part of the Buddhist teaching, where there are days where you can choose to be vegetarian. For example, in a Chinese culture, they have 10 vegetarian days per month, and that's a good thing to observe, by the way. Okay, and it's very beneficial for you, physically and spiritually. Okay, and on the other hand, the rest of the time, I feel there should be a balance about getting enough nutrition to take care of your body. Okay, and enjoying the flavors. Okay, food is important. And it's an important way to enjoy life. That's important for you to enjoy life, okay? Because you lay people, you should enjoy life. Number two, it's a good way for us to connect with others. You know, culturally, for example, in Italy, they would have these big meals where the whole family and friends sit in a long, long table. I saw that in the clips on Pavarotti. You know, he's a very big opera singer, one of my favorites, and he loves to eat pasta, okay, and that's why he's so big, and he died, at the age of 68 too soon because he's overweight. Okay, he could not help himself. Okay, and so he would eat with family and friends with a long table from here all the way to the wall there, and they would eat and eat and eat and eat, and they really enjoy themselves. To me, it's such an important way to connect with your family, to your children, your friends. And that's part of the quality of life. There's always trade-offs. Yes, when you do that, then you have now to, after that, we have to exercise, folks, Climbing, do stairs, stair climbing, whatever. Like one of our people here, he does 100 floors per day or something. Crazy guy. And so to me, there should be a balance. Okay, you can't go extreme, and so you're not mentioning flavors there. I feel that even though you're not well physically, but you should also enjoy food. Okay, I'm sure there's some meat you enjoy. Go for it. If you can't afford it, you have a chance. Don't need to be too preoccupied with it. I feel it's a middle way. The Buddha's Dharma is a middle way. There should be. We should choose to do the right thing that's good for you, that's reasonable for you. Okay. For us, it's different. We choose to make sacrifice flavors and so forth. It's in order to help us progress a lot quicker in our spiritual path. But eventually, once we get there, actually we become a lot more flexible in that we're not as uptight about it, and choose to live in a more balanced and middle way. Okay. Follow our heart more. Okay? So I'm not sure I could answer your question. If you have constraints, you have limitations, and try your best is all you can do. Okay? But make sure you pay attention in your nutrition. That's very, very important. Please exercise. That's part of your diet as well. Diet must be accompanied by proper exercise. Okay? All of you. You need to eat properly. You need to exercise, enough exercise. Monks and nuns included. Okay? And that's something you can ill afford to ignore. All right? And that's your basic foundation of your well-being. Take care of it. Learn to do a better job at it. Okay, and then this, for this gentleman here, this person here who asked, I will also encourage meditation and reciting in Buddha's name in particular. Okay, to help improve the mindset. Okay? All right. Time is up. We're going to stop here today, and thank you all for joining us. Let's go eat.